Hello everyone, my name is Maurice. On this channel we'll be discussing a variety of topics that have to do with the lives that we live. I feel that many of us are just stumbling around trying to figure it all out. There are things we were never taught growing up, so we're stuck constantly making mistakes in hopes that we eventually get it right. That's where Mos Forum comes in. Mo is a short nickname for Maurice. A forum is simply a place where ideas and views on a particular topic or issue can be exchanged. There are a few quotes that resonate with me and I feel they encompass a lot of what I'm trying to achieve here. There are a few different ways they have been said, so I'll just say three of them to drive the point home. A smart man learns from his mistakes. A wise one learns from the mistakes of others. A smart man makes a mistake, learns from it, and never makes the mistake again. But a wise man finds a smart man and learns from him how to avoid the mistake altogether. Learn from the mistakes of others. You can't live long enough to make them all yourself. An example of the first two would be a smart man is one that puts his hand over an open flame, burns himself, learns from his experience, and makes sure he doesn't do it again. A wise man would find the smart man that burnt himself from putting his hand over an open flame, learn from the mistake, and avoids having to make the mistake himself. The third quote I find helpful in that sometimes we run out of time to make mistakes or we run out of chances for making mistakes. We may lose our jobs, homes, relationships, retirement savings, or even our lives if we make a severe enough mistake. And sometimes there are over 100 ways to doing something. We would definitely run out of time if we have to attempt, through trial and error, each possible way there is. Or more commonly, we would just give up before we get to the right way of doing something. So learning from others would be a more efficient method. The quotes appear to allude to the notion that there is a difference between being smart and being wise. I think many people have their own interpretation of the two, but to ensure that we're all on the same page, I'll try to give a general definition for them both. For the sake of simplicity, I'll refer to being smart as having knowledge or the ability to acquire knowledge, and being wise as the ability to apply knowledge with good judgment. Similar to being book smart versus street smart. Two quotes that explain it are, a smart person knows how to fight a battle. A wise person knows which battles not to fight. A smart person knows what to say. A wise person knows whether or not to say it. So in order to be wise, you have to be smart. But just because you are smart doesn't mean you are wise. I believe many of us go through our childhood in the education system to mainly just acquire knowledge. We learn math, reading, writing, science, history, which some of the things that we learn are indeed useful, but I feel there are certain life skills that many of us grow up severely lacking. So one purpose of Mos Forum is to get as many people as possible to discuss ideas on how to handle certain issues successfully. I believe that even though we may come from or have different family dynamics, social statuses, ages, cultures, environments, interests, and a bunch of other differences, I feel many of us share lots of things in common. Many of us are struggling to find purpose in life, how to get and maintain relationships, how to communicate effectively with family members with different life views or political views than us, how to handle the many social issues that we face, how to talk to people without getting overly frustrated, how to talk to others without being misunderstood, how to get ahead so we're not living paycheck to paycheck, how to raise children so that they can succeed in their own lives as well, how to deal with traumas that we faced earlier in our lives that still affect us to this day, how to deal with our many emotions and get our mental health in check, how to be happy, and how to make the world a better place. And that's just to name a few. And another purpose of Mos Forum is to discuss views or ideas on particular topics. The topics can range from the very controversial to the random curious thought that pops out of nowhere. Some examples of the controversial topics would be religious freedom, climate change, and abortion. Some examples of curious thoughts would be, are our dreams connected to an alternate reality? Would being able to read minds be better or worse in the long run? If we could live forever, what is the most likely way that would be possible? And as far as the main purpose of Mos Forum, it's for me. I'm one of those people that feels that the more I know, the more I realize I don't know. I can take in all sorts of information, but that seems to only satisfy my curiosity temporarily. And trying to search for certain answers usually leads me to have even more questions. And even if I do have the knowledge, I find I'm not wise enough to apply it correctly. I enjoy having discussions and picking the minds of those I talk with. I figure that eventually there will be many people that chime in here that have already read tons of books and articles, watched many videos and documentaries, listened to a variety of podcasts and lectures, spent countless hours researching, and have lived and experienced things I could only imagine. So this is in hopes that lifetimes worth of wisdom can be shared in one location. I've seen many channels and posts and websites that seem to favor one group of people over another, Or they say all sorts of positive things about their side, but nothing but negative things about the other. Whether that's men versus women, black versus white, Republican versus Democrat, the list goes on. That appears to alienate people, and it further contributes to the division we experience all throughout society. I think if we focus more on the many similarities we have as people, as opposed to the differences, much more good can be accomplished. So if you find any of this interesting, you like the concept, you relate to the things I've said, or you just want to be one of those people that impart their wisdom, I invite you to subscribe and follow the channel. Obviously, I have my own life experiences and beliefs that will affect how I view certain things. Despite that, I try to be open-minded. I believe having a growth mindset instead of a fixed mindset is very important and that there is always room for improvement. I'll admit I definitely do not know everything, nor do I have all the answers. I will do my best to stay neutral on most of the topics and give each side fair treatment. In some cases, there are just two sides, but I feel many topics and issues have more elements to consider. They aren't always yes or no, right or wrong, black or white. There are a lot of gray areas, and I will try to point out the various factors involved. I'll do that by either discussing them in the videos I make or by participating in the comment section of the videos. Thank you for watching this introduction. I welcome you to Mos Forum, and I look forward to everyone's views, ideas, and comments on the videos ahead.